Hi, today I have the pleasure to interview Julia and Simon from Hyosung Textile. Hyosung Textile is part of Hyosung Corporation, one of Korea's leading multinational conglomerates. Hyosung Textile is an end-to-end textile maker, producing and supplying nylon and polyester yarns and fabrics. Hyosung Textiles also produces the well-known spandex Creora. With eggplants, Hyosung Textile is today the largest spandex producer in the world. Hi, Julia. Hi, Simon. Before talking about Creora family, innovations, and Hyosung Textile research and development policy, I will let you introduce yourself. Sorry. So, Julia, could you introduce yourself, please? Then Simon.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Julia Nam, Hyosung Textile Marketing Team. I'm based in Seoul, Korea. So I've been working for Hyosung around 9 years. So firstly, I've been in charge for European marketing for Creora, spandex fiber. And now I cover intimate, swim, and retailer for global markets. Nice to see you here, Miss Dominique.
Thank you. What about you, Simon?
Yes, thanks, Dominique, and nice to see Julia also. So my name's Simon Whitmarsh-Knight. I lead the marketing for Hyosung here in Europe. So that means I work with Julia and the rest of our fantastic global team, focusing on the brands and retailers in Europe, really to try to help those brands and retailers find what they're looking for in terms of fiber technology. Secondly, to enhance their fabrics and garments performance. And then thirdly, to really help upgrade their storytelling to their end users.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Before talking about innovative products you are launching, first question, could you tell us how does Hyosung Textile overcome the sanitary crisis due to the pandemic situation?
Sure. Thanks, Dominique. And Julia and I will both take turns to answer some of these questions. Again, thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak today. Julia, if I may start and then we'll go on together. I think in terms of the pandemic and the current situation, Dominique, first and foremost, I think for me personally, it's reinforced how connected we are, how interrelated we are. We all work as a system. And I hope that's one of the things that really survives when the pandemic is under control. We realize as a world we are more connected and we need each other to be safe and secure. And I really hope that's a positive result from a difficult situation. But maybe quickly four things I think, Hyosung in particular focused on to manage and react to this crisis. Of course, number one was to make sure everybody within our working environment, our colleagues, our people in facilities were safe and well. That's the number one priority right at the start and will continue to be so. Number two, I think, and we're all learning as we go along, but number two is really around communication. There's so much uncertainty still. The situation is evolving, changing rapidly. So communication through the value chain, communication with the teams, almost over communication, if you like, to try to get clarity of message, to check in on people. That's I think been a good learning for us. I think number three, of course, we've reacted and responded to some of the new opportunities and needs within the market. It's a difficult situation, but of course, with the world now producing lots of PPE, masks, etc., Hyosung as the leading producer of elastane in the world was able to respond and help that area in terms of mask production and PPE. And then we've also seen some new trends coming in terms of working from home, wellness at home, this idea of us all working from home, needing different benefits from our clothes, I think. So we're seeing a lot of developments in this area. And then finally, I guess, whilst thinking about the short term, we're also wanting to make sure the medium long term continues. So our investment in newness, in new technologies, also very important. And we'll talk about those in a second, Dominique.
So if I add something about with more example, for example, after COVID situation, many brands, they are looking for more short-term supply, and then they want to reduce their stocks. So to do this, we have a very often discussion by call or conference or video call with the brands and the fabric mills, how to reduce the supply, the delivery time, or how we can support our customers, fabric mill and brands. So this is a kind of example about open communications.
Thank you, Julia. Let's talk now about Creora family. You have bet once again on innovation. So could you tell us more about the new qualities you are launching now in Creora family?
Sure. Yeah. Again, maybe if I kick off and then Julia can add and pick up the many bits that I missed, Dominique. But as we mentioned earlier, we continue to invest in the long term whilst thinking short term around helping and managing our customers as well. We're coming up to the traditional, if that word still exists, exhibition period. And of course, there's been a lot of change and development in the exhibitions. Usually that's a time where we think about promoting our newness, and with the rest of the industry, we're now thinking more closely about digital promotion, and as things have moved online. We still hope there are opportunities for face-to-face meetings later in the year, as it's so important for us in this business. But certainly 2 or 3 of the areas that we're focusing on for the last sort of Q3, Q4, really we're talking about Color Plus, especially here in Antofia, which is a new development for Hyosung, really helping the market meet the need for deeper and darker shades, better colors within natural fiber blends. As we discussed earlier, work from home, loungewear is very important. So we're seeing, especially in that sort of underwear category, athleisure continues to be important. People looking for natural fibers, but with the enhanced technology that some synthetic fibers can bring. So Creora Color Plus, in terms of giving that benefit within natural blends, is very important. And one other thing that we see, Dominique, that is really, I guess, amplified, there are many changes as part of the COVID pandemic. And one thing that we see is sustainability. The customers, our brand and retailers, responding and anticipating their end user. Sustainability, it has become even more important to people as part of this pandemic. Where do things come from? How are they made? Are they helpful to the planet? And so our stories around recycled, so Creora Regen, Mypan Regen in terms of recycled nylon, polyester, and also increasingly bio-based Creora, people looking for maybe developing the story of reduction of carbon emissions, etc. So our bio-based platforms are becoming more and more interesting for different end users, whether that's activewear or loungewear, underwear. So really Color Plus, and then the bio-based and recycled story in this particular space. I'm sure Julia will add a lot more to that also, Dominique.
So basically, Simon presented all detailed our products. So I just want to give some points of view in terms of intimate apparel, because 1 or 2 years when I had a meeting at Interfiliate Paris show, most intimate brands, they doesn't like the sustainable concept because they think the intimate apparel is kind of very, close to the skin. So they thought consumer doesn't like those recycled material onto the human body. But more and more brands, they are looking for recycled one. Of course, the first target will be nylon, because basically previously they doesn't look for the recycled nylon, but now many brands, especially one of the key global brands, they are looking for recycled nylon. But we thought the next step will be spandex, because many brands, they are thinking about 100% sustainable garments. But if there will be unsustainable spandex inside, around 10 or 20%, that it can be perfect. So we guess the more brands or more fabric mills, they will start to look for recycled spandex. So at the moment, most retailers, because they are very keen to sustainability compared to other categories, they already started to develop garments with recycled spandex. So we see the more opportunities and the more the needs in the market about this kind of sustainable Crayola family.
So do you think that this change with the consumer, they are more and more demanding for eco-responsible products and garments? Do you think it's a long-term change, or it's just a spontaneous reaction due to the pandemic situation?
In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, I think this will be a long-term direction more and more. So, for example, actually Hyosung, we developed 10 years ago recycled nylon. At the time, we thought it is kind of the promotional, products. But now the consumer has been changing. They are looking for more conscious products and then conscious action. So we for sure see the trends and then the, consumers' needs in terms of long term. But the key point is, as Simon stated, it's not just to recycle the material. Now they are looking for more, the life cycle of garments, not just the raw material. They are looking for more carbon reduction, and then from the yarn to the garment or after garments. So that's why we see some more needs for bio-based raw material is slowly but very quickly growing.
And I think maybe just to add to that as well, Dominique, we as a company work very closely with our leading brand and retail customers in terms of developments. You know, a lot of those brand and retailers have made some significant and fantastic objectives in terms of maybe moving to recycled by a certain time. And that has significant impact on the value chain. So it's really important that we work very closely with our key customers to help them meet those targets, those long-term targets. And also the benefit there, Dominique, is as we're working very closely together with brand and retailers, there's almost like a ready-made customer base. When products then come to market, we've been able to anticipate the demand for consumers. So the product can really get going very quickly. And I think, as Julia was saying, there's also an evolution in maybe understanding and knowledge around sustainability for consumers, for brand and retailers. And so perhaps the first stage was recycled fiber, which of course is very important. We're now seeing a real interest in, as Julia said, bio-based, in terms of maybe the understanding of how that works and the benefits of that in terms of product and planet are becoming clearer. And then we're looking at other areas such as regenerative now. So how do we help actually give back in many areas? So working closely with brands and retailers really helps us think about innovation, but also innovation in terms of end use and how to manufacture that in the most effective way.
So we talk about Creora Color Plus. A few months ago, you have launched Creora ActiFit. How do you combine innovation and eco-responsible policy for fashion market, for lingerie, for sport market? How do you combine both?
Yeah, it's a great question, Dominique. I think clearly, we pride ourselves on innovation. We have this very close contact with brands and retailers, so that is helping us to anticipate demand, but also then make that product in a way that is the most environmentally friendly. Very important to us. We're working, hand in hand with many of our top customers in terms of further. How should we say, substantiation of the benefits of each product. Customers are looking to move further up the value chain, Dominique, and look more at traceability. So an example being LCAs. We're doing a number of those now with customers. We do before we launch a product, and then we're also working with a number of global brands and third parties on those LCAs and assessments to give that third-party endorsement. So it's great that we are, forward-looking. We're looking at where the market has some needs. We have a great fashion design team within Hyosung that is looking at future trends and how those translate into fiber and garments. And then by working closely with brand and retailers, we're able to help develop those fibers and then help substantiate and create the stories that brands and retailers are looking for.
Julia?
Also, in terms of the function and the eco-conscious concept, recently we launched the functional recycled fiber. So not just only sustainable concept, but also function. Because when we had a meeting with the global brands, okay, now the target will be recycled, but next step will be the innovative recycled yarn. So we developed the recycled cooling UV protection polyester. Brand name is Recycled Askin. Also recycled cotton-like polyester like this. So we are not, only focused on recycled material. We see the next page of the recycled material.
That's a great point, Julia, actually, and Dominique, I think that highlights really how the market is constantly evolving and the consumers' needs are always increasing. So as Julia so brilliantly put, first we were looking at nylon for the market or polyester, and then the market demands moved to recycled, and now the market moving again for recycled with technology. So multi-function, multi-purpose. So as Julia said, recycled Askin, which are recycled polyester, recycled Aqua-X, our recycled nylon. We're also brought out to ISPO recently, Robic, which is our highly durable abrasion resistant fabric. So that's also available as recycled. So multifunction, but recycled, answering the ever-changing, evolving needs of the consumer.
Thank you, Julia and Simon, so for all these details. Last question: do you have some keywords you would like to use for next season?
How about Simon? So obviously, I think two things. First one is sustainability. I think we couldn't, we should focus on these markets. Also about the COVID situation. So in terms of sustainability, I can focus on the Creora bio-based or Creora recycled yarn. This will be keyword for Hyosung. And then second one about the COVID situation, meaning untaxed business, and then many people working from home. So we will focus on Creora Color Plus natural blends. So it will be good option for the loungewear market.
And I think one thing that's always important, Dominique, one word that is always top of a customer's list is comfort. So Julia's right, we think about specific products, changing market needs, especially now there are certain needs for the pandemic and the health and well-being of people. And you know, we will get through this, and we will come out the other side. And you know, throughout that time and beyond, comfort is always the number one factor that customers are looking for. So Hyosung, you know, always thinking around not just comfort stretch, but also cooling, warming, soft touch, all these sorts of things which help to answer that customer need through our fiber technologies. So comfort for me would be an addition also to what Julia's mentioned.
Thank you very much. We will keep in mind these keywords for Creora and Hyosung Textile. Thank you very much, Julia. Thank you very much, Simon.
Merci.
It's
Thank
an
you,
honor
Dominique.
to have this opportunity.
Stay well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.